Welcome to the TW Stadium. It's a fresh night here on Merseyside, but already a lot at stake, even this early in the 2024 season. Saints are the early pace setters as they bid to make it 4 wins out of 4 against Salford, who incredibly are bidding to end a 44-year hoodoo here in St Helens. Well, another busy weekend, of course, in Super League. You've already seen Warrington with a cracking victory, 22 points to 20. That's 3 wins now for Sam Burgess and Warrington. 3 big games, as well as the one here at St Helens. Lee looking for their first win against Leeds. Castleford also searching for their first victory. That's against Huddersfield. And on Saturday, 2 games on Sky Sports Action. We start with London against the champions Wigan, and then Catalan taking on Hull FC in the south of France. As far as the teams are concerned, Saints make 1 enforced change. Conrad Hurrell is suspended, a 1-match ban, so Wanga Blake comes in into the centres, and still no Matty Lees. That means Sione Matautia continues at prop forward. For Salford, a big boost at full-back because they have the fit again Ryan Briley back and available. He missed the match against Hull KR after pulling up injured in the warm-up. Chris Atkin then returns to the bench after deputising for Briley, but still no David Nofaluma. He isn't match fit, so Chris Hankinson continues on the wing. Our special guest tonight here at the TW Stadium is the former St Helens star, John Wilkin.
Yeah, 2 teams tonight who were desperately disappointed with where they finished last time round. The Saints heavily favoured to win here tonight and also reach the grand final at Old Trafford in October. Wants to watch Lewis Dodd and Mark Sneyd, both scrum halves, both at different ends of their careers. Both exceptional players. The young Lewis Dodd, who's returning from injury, and Mark Sneyd, who was in imperious form against Hull KR last time round, Stuart.
Well, it's an incredible stat that last time that Salford won a match in St Helens was back in January 1980, one of the longest losing runs in the sport, but it has to end sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's anything to be positive about Salford's start to the season, amid all of the financial issues that's been discussed, amid losing players, well, they've had 3 solid performances at the start of 2024. And Paul Rowley's team is full of character and full of commitment and full of aggression. He'll be delighted with that. Well, for Saints, for me, it's been about Darrell Clark, Matt Whitley, the 2 new signings, what an impact they've made. And then also, probably the best player in the competition, in my opinion, Jack Welsby, who just lights up the stage every week. Every performance from him is world-class, Stuart.
Were Saints expecting to win their first 3 games? They did win their first 3 games, looking to make it 4 wins out of 4. The 2 sides then coming out for this big game, huge 80 minutes ahead. But before the game kicks off, there will be a minute's applause here at the stadium to acknowledge the passing of 4 men, all involved heavily with St Helens. Peter Glynn, who won the Challenge Cup for St Helens back in 1976. He also represented Salford nearly 150 times. Abe Terry was one of St Helens' finest forwards. He was an Ashes winner with Great Britain, and he also was in the Challenge Cup winning team in 1961. Bill Francis played 73 times for St Helens. He scored 22 tries, having joined from Wigan, and he would also go on to captain Wales against England in an international at St Helens Old Ground of Knowsley Road. And finally, Arthur Moore, who spent nearly 60 years as the chief matchday cashier at the club. That's Peter Glynn, Abe Terry, Bill Francis and Arthur Moore. And the crowd and the 2 sides will pay tribute to that quartet before the start of the game.
And one of the first players to wear the famous red V as part of the side that beat Wigan in the 1961 Challenge Cup final. He made 216 appearances for the club. Bill Francis played 73 times for Saints. He scored 22 tries from standoff and joined from Wigan. He was an integral part of the team that led us through the late 70s. And finally tonight we pay respect to Arthur Moore.
So a minute's of pause for Peter Glynn, for Abe Terry, for Bill Francis, and for Arthur Moore.
At the age of 71, Arthur was a much-loved and wonderful member of the Saints family. Our thoughts tonight are with all their families in this sad time. And tonight we ask you to stand if you're able. And by way of a minute of pause, show your respect to Peter Glynn, Abe Terry, Bill Francis, and Arthur Moore.
So we are ready to go. St Helens against Salford. Saints with a 100% record, looking to make it 4 out of 4 and extend their lead at the top of the table. As I say, January the 12th, 1980, St Helens won by, Salford beat St Helens by 18 points to 17. Since then, they've lost on every occasion that they've been to the old Moseley Road and to this stadium as well. Right, Briley is going to be so important to everything that Salford do. He scored tries in the last 3 matches against Saints. Surely the hoodoo, John Wilkin, has to end sometime.
It does indeed, but Paul Wellens and the Saints will be hoping it's not tonight. It was a fumbling performance from the Saints against Lee last time around on a very heavy pitch. They'll be looking for something more fluid here tonight.
So we're underway. Singleton it is with the first drive forward. Important early stages. I think one thing for sure that Salford will try and move this around, move the ball around and threaten St Helens. Incredible to think that Saints in 3 matches have conceded only 2 tries.
Yeah, the for and against is looking great. 80 points in the for column, only 8 against. They've built their superiority in the competition on defence. Wigan matched them and exceeded their defensive capabilities last year, but they'll be tested here tonight, Stuart.
Already on the last tackle then. Just outside their own 40. Ball goes back for Sneed. Tries to get the quick away. That should be an easy take for Jack Welsby.
Yeah, and Alex Walmsley putting pressure on Mark Sneed. He had way too much time against Hullcar last week. Even when Hullcar put Mark Sneed's kicking game under pressure, he still came up with some pearlers. So that'll be a tactic here for Saints.
Well, he's been very influential, hasn't he, already this season, Sneed. Makinson from dummy half for St Helens. Here is Siranin now on that right-hand side. Yeah, but St Helens conceded 1 try against London. They nilled Huddersfield and conceded 1 try against Lee a week ago. Matantia on halfway, and they'll go the short side with Lomax. St Helens looking to move the ball early on, and it's one thing that Paul Wellens has been insistent they've been working on very hard during the off-season, and that is their attacking game. Pressure on Dodd with the kick. It's a good kick, but it's a good take as well. Had to be.
And it's a wonderful chase from Tommy Makinson and the St Helens team. Look, 3 yards out from the Salford line. And this is where Saints get tight and get aggressive.
Yeah, Makinson with the chase on Briley. Briley, normally one of the safest, isn't he? But that's what Salford are going to try and do. I think Paul Rowley has conceded that down the middle they may not be a match with Saints, but their outside backs certainly are.
Yeah, they're going to struggle to go toe-to-toe with St Helens, but then you look at how influential Tim Laffey, Nene McDonald have been, and Callum Watkins on their edge, so it's clear that Salford's strength is the ball carriers out wide. Why would you not get the ball in their hands?
Early stages, cagey, and here they are trying to move the ball.
Tidy defence from Mark Percival. He's got a big job to do, as has Wanger Blake on the other side.
Nene McDonald is very dangerous, isn't he, for Salford. The bounce of the ball favouring the Red Devils. The kick through and the chase from Hankinson, but they had to stop for offside, and Wellesby eventually takes it for St Helens close to their own try line, but that worked out pretty well in the end for Salford.
Yeah, it did. It was just a crazy bounce, crazy kick, crazy bounce, and there was nobody around it. Got hacked forward by Chris Hankinson. Luckily, Jack Wellesby was in a good position for Saints, but that's the sort of chaos that Salford thrive on.
Early stages, 0-0. Saints already with those victories over London and Huddersfield, and the first penalty.
I don't think so, not bad.
I think Salford, they're claiming that his hand was trapped under the elbow of Sione Matautia, but penalty it is.
Yeah, it's important for Salford that they retain the discipline. You can't concede penalties like this. Can't give St Helens an easy ride out of their own half, trapped or not. Tim Laffey's got stuck in there, and it just gives St Helens the opportunity to just ease over the halfway line and get to the end of the field where they want to spend most of their time.
Well, Laffey and McDonald, very influential. Nene McDonald is rejuvenated, isn't he, in a Salford shirt after his unhappy spell at Leeds. But Saints here, we're looking for a penalty there against Cade Cuss, not given. Here is Morgan Knowles now. Fierce defence from Salford. First real opportunity, you feel, for St Helens with ball in hand, and Lomax it is. Little short pass for Curtis Sirenen. They're about 30 yards away from the Salford line. Here is Matautia again, and it's another set for St Helens, a set restart. Well, that's two mistakes from the Red Devils. First of all, a penalty, and then a set restart. Wellesby getting out of one tackle, getting out of another, still going Jack Wellesby. Will have to take the tackle and go to ground, otherwise it would have been obstruction. But dangerous moments for Salford.
Yeah, but they've been defending so well. Paul Rowley hailed the defence last week against Hull KR. They're going to have to deal with big bodies. Alex Walmsley, just one of them. And then Saints throwing all of their players on the left-hand side now.
Clark trying to get the ball out. Nearly went himself. Darrell Clark has been so good in the early stages of his Saints career. Here's Wellesby now, and Blake gets the ball out of the back door, picked up there by Sirenen. He'll go for the line. Sirenen will go for the line. Has he managed to get the ball down? I think he's been tackled over the line. Great defence from Salford, but just for a moment there, it looked as if Sirenen was going to get the first try.
Yeah, Sirenen with real power, really direct, and just looking and scrambling to get the ball down. He just didn't quite have the strength, but great defence from Ryan Briley and great defence from Salford. As Paul Rowley been delighted with how they've been defending.
On the last, Dodd put the ball through. Is that a mistake? Well, brilliantly kept in the end, and it had to be by Laffey, but it'll be a drop out from underneath the post. Salford and Sneed as well involved are under pressure. They're giving away a penalty and the set restart. Now it's a drop out.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure here, and it's Cade Cust whose foot just slips over. Great kick from Lewis Dodd. Cust's foot here we see just over, and that gives more possession and more time attacking the Salford line for Saints. Now they have been working on this no end. They need to score points, they need to score more points. Paul Rowley will be delighted that his side have managed to hold Saints out so far, but we've got a feeling they will crack eventually.
Wellesby takes it. Here is Alex Walmsley now. A really strong start to the season, Walmsley. Darrell Clark taking over the famous number 9 shirt of James Roby. Play on, says the referee. Here is Sione Matautia deputising in the front row. Matty Lee's still out injured. Clark once more, and Knowles. Good defence again. Cade Cust it was. Darrell Clark looking for runners, finds Sirenen, but the pressure is cranking up again here. Ball with Clark, who's been a menace. And still going. Chance maybe here. Pursuing him will go again for the line. And Salford's defence, brilliant once more to stop him right on that try line. Saints just can't find a way through in these early stages. Eventually gets up and plays the ball. Here is Wellesby, little kick over the top. Can Benison take it? No, he can't. Well, the idea was right, the execution was wrong. Saints come up empty-handed, and Salford will be thrilled with their defensive sets there. They kept Saints out for 3 sets on their own line.
Great defence, and when edges are aggressive, Jack Wellesby sees it, puts the kick in. Benison, nearly, not quite. But that's a way to deal with an edge defence being aggressive. They're up and in. We'll kick behind them. There's space behind them. Jack Wellesby is a master at understanding those situations. Benison couldn't quite get to it, but Paul Rowley, 8 minutes in, under all sorts of pressure, is going to be delighted with how his team started defensively.
Laffey will run the ball out for Salford. Yeah, brilliant defence from the Red Devils under intense pressure. It all came down to bounce of the ball, really. And Lady Luck there with that kick from Wellesby favouring Salford with that defensive effort. Ormond Royd will run the ball out. But the way they've started, in a way it's a bit unfair, isn't it? Because they're always labelled as the side that is put together of players who are not wanted at other clubs, but they have a fantastic team spirit. And that has certainly counted for a lot.
Yeah, Paul Rowley mentions the character and they're unified on one concept at the start of this game, and it's defending well and defending for each other. Now they've got to do that for 80 minutes. They're 9 minutes in. Paul Rowley knows that they've got to maintain that for another 71 minutes here against a fantastic team in St Helens.
Wow, big challenge on Mark Percival. Singleton it was. Here is Alex Walmsley. And again, Brad Singleton involved.
What a tackle from Mark Percival. Huge hit.
They're trying to find a way through now. Knowles just couldn't offload the ball. Quick play the ball. Darryl Clark. Again, right on that Salford try line. And they've lost possession.
Yes,
they've lost possession. They've had 4 sets on the line, and again they've come up with naught.
They've almost compulsively offloaded the ball this year. Siren, and this one's Alex Walmsley, just dumps it out the back. Nobody's there. They've really tried to push this of Saints this year. Salford come up with an error. Wow, they're just gifting Saints possession at the minute and field position.
Briley there. They can't afford to do that. Saints are trying to be patient. The pass was forced, but it was never really going to reach. It was a poor pass from Cust, and Briley had no chance.
Yeah, penalties, mistakes, it's just not what you want. Paul Wellens knows his tide are going to have to convert some of this pressure into points. Maybe the accusation was Saints, when they had chances last year, didn't get far enough away from teams, and they ended up getting reined in by sides at the back end of games. Paul Wellens knows his side need to get ahead, but it's a really encouraging start for Salford, really tidy defensively.
A chance here, brilliant dummy, and a brilliant try. And it had to be, didn't it? It's the man of the moment, Jack Wellesby. Give him a chance, give him an opportunity, give him a sniff, and he produces a moment of brilliance. And Wellesby's try gives Saints the lead after 11 minutes.
Yeah, and we spoke about the pressure, and I just mentioned that Salford had been so clinical defensively. Well, not this time. It's a simple play from the middle of the field. The Saints just strip Salford for numbers from the middle field scrum, and Jack Wellesby just finds space, glides through, rolls the ball to his right as though he's going to pass. He doesn't. There's just too much space and too much quality on the ball for St Helens. And you felt like Salford, if they just kept gifting Saints possession and they keep giving people like Jack Wellesby ball in positions like that, then Paul Rowley knew that his team would crack eventually. It's Jack Wellesby with a piece of magic, a beautiful touch, and Saints take the lead.
Well, Jack Wellesby has now scored a try in every single game this season, and he continues to just get better and better. You are a firm believer that he's one of the best in the world.
Well, he went for 212 metres last week in really tough conditions against Lee. It's not just his work rate, his willingness to compete, but it's his execution, his vision, and the uncanny knack to find space. Not many players have that. Jack Welsby has it. But Salford will be really encouraged by the start, Stuart. They've been good here. They've defended well. But they just need to cut out the penalties, 6 against, and the error. That's what's cost Paul Rowley. That's what's cost his team 4 points. The question is, can they make it 6? Because goal kicking has been far from the strength of St Helens for a number of years now.
Well, it was one error too much, wasn't it, for Salford? The pass from Cust, not taken in by Briley. But to be fair, it wasn't a very good pass in the first place from the Australian. So Percival off the touchline. Can he turn 4 into 6? No, he can't. It goes to the left of the post. So 4-0, it stays here at the TW Stadium. Up until that moment, Salford have been really, really good defensively. But now they've got to get ball in hand.
Yeah, just whenever you get a midfield scrum and Jack Welsby finds the ball in his hands with this much time, in tight situations like that, is lethal. Stuart is lethal. He preys on situations like that and creating space and time for himself. It's an exceptional piece of execution.
Benison there. The ball, lucky for Saints, picked up by
One. Move, Marcus, tight! Ball carrier!
John Benison. Look at this.
2.
Lewis Dodd coming to the rescue, and Saints still have the ball. 4-0 in front here at the TW Stadium. No Conrad Hurrell, Wanga Blake in for him. Salford just need to try and force an error here, get their hands on that ball and put pressure on St Helens.
Just hang in. They're playing well. Hang in there. Cut out the penalties and cut out the errors, and they're good.
Here is Soonen again, who's enjoying a really good start to the season. Ball goes back for Lewis Dodd. It's a high hanging kick right on the line, taken well by Ryan Briley. So let's see what they can do with this set. Salford now with Cust and
yeah, it's a huge kick from Lewis Dodd. Ryan Briley does so well to take it, and Salford now will use a bit of ball movement, Stuart, like you said. But the confusing thing about Salford, usually when you move the ball a lot, you make errors. Well, Salford have been so tidy in the first 3 rounds. 85% completion average. It's almost unheard of. So Paul Rowley's form of rugby, not only is it expansive, but it's also safe.
Well, they're having a go here. Yet to see them with ball in hand inside the St Helens half of the field. Pass out there for Watkins, Callum Watkins, the captain, just inside that St Helens half of the field. It was a strong tackle by Walmsley. Back it goes for Sneed, again under pressure. Morgan Knowles was closing in. It's a good kick, but it's a really good take from Welsby. And Benison in support, but Sneed is going to be all important to what Salford do. He was fantastic in the victory over Hull KR. He was a real match winner last weekend, and he's having a bit of renaissance as well. He'd be the first to admit that he was disappointing last year. Huddersfield hit the front at Castleford, 6 points to 0. Cats still looking for their first win of the season. Blake trying to find a way through. The Fijian just on a 1-year contract for now, with an option for another year. The latest score coming in about 12 miles down the road. Lee in front against Leeds, 4 points to 0. Lee also looking for a first win of the season. Here's Walmsley again. Strong yardage. Opening the space, 3 to bring him down. In the end, it was Singleton. Dodd with the kick through, but it was well read by Cust. Good defence again.
It's a poor kick. It's a poor kick from Lewis Dodd. Kate Cust recognises, sits back, boom, snatches it. It's just a poor kick selection, telegraphed from Lewis Dodd. Salford just ready for it.
4-0, 16 minutes gone. And the first penalty of the match against Lewis Dodd and Mark Percival. And this will be relief for Salford, but it's also a chance.
Absolutely relief. Just get a chance to breathe. Penalties are just a gift, aren't they, in this game? Especially when you've got Mark Sneed. It's Hankinson who fights to play the ball, wins a penalty. And Mark Sneed gets the opportunity now to clear Salford's lines, actually get some possession in the St Helens half. and get the ball where they like to attack.
Well, St Helens' defence hasn't really been tested. You would imagine they will be here. Here is Callum Watkins, loving every minute of his time with Salford. England star, of course, captain. Here's Amir Burrow. And now they will move it. Well, suspicion of a forward pass there, but I think they got away with that cuss. Play on, says the referee. Cuss once more involved, and St Helens are being tested.
Such a good line from Callum Watkins.
Ormond Royd and Cuss with a little chip over the top. Wellesby will cover it. There's just too much on that. Ditto, really. It was a poor play from Lewis Dodd at the other end of the field. That was a poor choice by Kate Cuss for Salford there.
Yeah, poor kick from Kate Cuss. Just got the wrong club out of the golf bag, didn't he? Selected driver. He needed his sand wedge. That's gone. And given St Helens a 7 tackle set, and all that maybe momentum swing from the penalty that they received is just sort of evaporated in one moment from Kate Cuss.
Good work again by Ormond Royd in the tackle. The Saints with Matautia. But the team spirit that Salford have, and the achievements that they've had over the last few years, when you consider it really is a team made up of players that other clubs have rejected, but put them in a Salford shirt and it all comes together. Walmsley, now there's a break on, and this is going to be a try for Dodd. No one's going to stop him here. Brilliant try, great offload, and Lewis Dodd strolls in for St Helens second. That's what they can do, that's what they're capable of. They can strike from anywhere, and they've done just that. Dodd with a try, and Saints lead 8-0.
And it's things that you love to see. It's your forwards playing together, and it's Alex Walmsley with a beautiful pass to Sione Matautia, and Lewis Dodd with too much speed. I always think it's a great sign when your big men have the confidence to pass. It's an amazing ball from Alex Walmsley. What a line here from Sione Matautia. Then the offload, Lewis Dodd now in space. Such speed from him, what a finish. It's great to see him, who had such pace in that maybe the first year of his career, had such a bad injury, to see him free-flowing like that and outrunning Callum Watkins into the corner. It's a good start for St Helens now, 18 minutes in, they're 8 points up. That's a lovely work try, a combination of your forwards, and then great support play from your halfback.
Well, it was only 2 years ago, Good Friday 2 years ago, that Lewis Dodd snapped his Achilles. You may remember against Wigan, and he missed the rest of the year. And although he came back and played every game last year, he wasn't the same player. John Wilkin and I were talking before about the psychological damage that an injury like that can do, and it's taken Dodd, I guess, 12 months to get over it, because in the first month of this season he's been right up there with one of the best number 7s in the league.
Without doubt, yeah. And we watched last night Volker, Mikey Lewis, one of the star players in our competition, and the difference between making breaks and not is a fraction of a second. It's the minutest moment in the game. And Lewis Dodd maybe lost a fraction of that with his injury, with confidence. Well, it seems to be coming back. And not only that, his organisation, his leadership is really developing. Mark Sneed is the master, well, Lewis Dodd is the apprentice. I'll say this again, goal kicking's huge. Goal kicking's massive, and Saints have not got it sussed yet.
Well, as Hull Kickton Rovers have found out to their cost as well this season. What can Percival do here? About 7 or 8 yards in from touch on this left-hand side, the right side of the field for a right-footed kicker. Can he take Saints to double figures? Unlucky, hits the uprights, but it's another 2 points gone. Saints with 2 tries, 2 missed conversions, but they deservedly lead by 8 points to 0.
Yeah, again, Alex Walmsley, sublime skill from a big man. Matautia gets the ball in one hand, offload to Dodd, and then it's great pace from Lewis Dodd. It's fantastic, outruns the Salford chasers. Paul Wellens would be delighted, not only with the combination of his big men, but the support play from his young halfback, as we said, who's just gathering confidence with every week.
It's another brilliant kick. It's not been able to be taken, and now Burrow, this is a chance for Salford, straight from the kickoff. Shorrocks is stopped shy of that line, and all of a sudden, the brilliance of Sneed from the kickoff, and they go again, 6th again. Burrow from dummy half, but this is the chance that Salford have wanted. What a kickoff from Sneed. Now, the Saints defence being tested. They conceded only 2 tries so far this season. Amir Burrow at dummy half. Ball goes back inside for Brad Singleton. Singleton losing a few yards. This is the opportunity that the Red Devils have been waiting for and hoping for. Can they make it pay? Long pass out to Hankinson now. Under pressure, couple of tackles left in this set for Salford. Here they go again. Sneed with the pass outside to the dangerous Briley. Here is Tim Laffey now on the far side. Laffey brought down. Last one. Can they find a way through? Sneed with a kick towards the line. It's a dangerous kick. The ball goes backwards. And who's come up with it? Is it 6 again? It is. John Bennison couldn't hold it. And here comes Salford again on the short side. Nowhere for Kate Cuss to go. All of a sudden, they were under the cosh for Salford. Now they're putting immense pressure on St Helens on that try line. Brilliant defence once more. Saints now, their turn to hang on as Singleton is driven back. Amir Burrow, they go to the left-hand side. Can they put points on the board? Briley, there's an overlap. Laffey finds his winger. Great chance there for Dion Cross. Desperate defending from St Helens. Brilliant defence from Johnny Lomax right on that line. Breathless and breathtaking now from Salford. What are St Helens made of? Burrow again. Sneed. Inside it goes for Shorrocks. Now it's Cuss. They're having a go. Harlem Globetrotter style. Watkins is brought down. Last one. Can Saints see it out? Can Salford get some points? Little kick through again. Pressure on Wellesby. And then it's going to be a drop out from underneath the post. Salford wants a penalty.
Ryan Briley is running to chase the kick. Looks like he's obstructed. Looks like St Helens player gets in the way. It's in the background there. But there's a big accusation from the Salford players, all gathered round the referee, appealing that this is an obstruction.
I don't need to, I don't want to.
That Ryan Briley's obstructed from getting to the ball. It's Cade Cuss with a kick. That's tough on Salford. That's a tough call on Salford. I feel like Alwan's are back into him.
Well, the referee, Tom Grant, is just trying to make sure what's going on. He'll probably get some guidance as well from the video referee, Marcus Griffiths. Let's have a look. I think it was Alex Walmsley who went down. He's actually injured in that moment, Alex Walmsley. He's going off. He's going to be replaced here. So what's the decision? Is it going to be a penalty or is it going to be a goal line dropout? Briley was claiming that he was brought down. It looks like it's just going to be a goal line dropout, but it is going to be another set.
That's unlucky for Salford. Yeah, it's unlucky. It's a great kick from Cade Cuss. Al Walmsley just looked to back into Ryan Briley. They'll feel aggrieved by that, but they get another opportunity here to attack.
There will be a head injury assessment for Alex Walmsley. Brad Singleton charging through. Well, Saints were in cruise control. Saints were in total control, leading by 8 points to 0. But that kick-off from Sneed has changed everything. And now they really are pushing and challenging that St Helens line. Laffey down that far side. Here is Sneed once again. Shorrocks, ball inside for Callum Watkins. Again, the offload for Shorrocks. They are giving it a real go here, Salford. Right on that Saints line. Amir Burrow. 10 yards away. The ball will go to the left-hand side. They'll be queuing up with Briley here. Long pass out for Cross, and Cross will score. The try had been coming, and Salford finally break through. Dion Cross it was. They have 4 sets on the St Helens line. You felt it was coming. Sneed and Briley involved, and Cross gets Salford back in this game.
Well, it came through a period of fantastic defence from St Helens. They held Salford out They've been so good at this all year, only conceded a couple of times, scrambling like mad. Salford are putting under all sorts of pressure, but they buckled. The Saints' defensive line eventually buckled, and it was just fantastic from Salford. Clean, crisp, clinical, demanding that the Saints defenders come up with something. They couldn't. It's Dion Cross. How strong. What a finish from Dion Cross in the corner. Every right to be stopped there by Jack Wellsby coming across. They can't stop him. Great from Salford. Exceptional defence from Saints. Excellently worked try from Salford City Reds.
The game has changed by one brilliant bit of skill from Mark Sneed. Saints led 8-0. They couldn't convert either try from the kick-off after St Helens' second try. Sneed put it sky high, sky high. St Helens couldn't deal with the kick-off, and it's completely changed everything. Since then, Salford have had their tails up, and they've got their reward.
Just deflects everything off me when he's around here.
Yeah, moments in games matter, right? And Mark Sneed, who's going to kick the conversion or attempt this conversion here, the kick-off he produced was a game-changing moment. It absolutely changed the momentum of that period of the game. This is where it's interesting. Mark Sneed, 100% goal conversions this year.
Out of 13.
So we've had Saints with all the pressure, scored 2 tries, 8-0 up. Well, Salford a red-hot chance at being 2 points down after all of that pressure, just because of how seriously Mark Sneed takes his goal kicks.
Well, goal kicks matters. John Wilkin has said during this game on a couple of occasions, and he's spot on. Here is Sneed from the touchline, and of course he kicks it from the touchline. Brilliant from Sneed, one of the best in the business. 14 out of 14 for conversions, and Saints now pegged back. They lead 8-6.
Yeah, goal kicks matter, kickoffs matter. This lands short, it causes chaos, and this gives Salford an opportunity to attack. Whether it's good fortune or good planning, it worked out, and Salford have come away with the points. Scored here, but also the conversion. How important. Fantastic goal kick from Mark Sneed off the touchline, proving his value over and over again in the twilight of his career.
Well, we'll keep mentioning it because it's worth mentioning. January the 12th, 1980, over 44 years since Salford have won in St Helens, when they give themselves a fantastic opportunity here. But what a momentum switch, as John was saying. They were up against it, they couldn't get their hands on the ball, they looked to be really struggling, and now they've got a penalty for stealing the ball in the tackle. At the moment, everything changed. Everything has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah. Hinges on moments. Discipline here from St Helens, just hands in the ruck. Referee left no option but to give the penalty. And now Salford you're in a position where you feel like your lungs are bleeding, right? You're in oxygen debt. You can't think. St Helens are applying pressure to you, and all of a sudden, oxygen's coming back. You're feeling fresh, and you get clarity, and you start to be able to make some good decisions. Paul Wellens knows this game has changed. It's changed, and Salford are now in the ascendancy 26 minutes in.
What an incredible turnaround. Literally, who would have believed it, because St Helens are in total control. And then all of a sudden, things have changed. Here is King Budiawa, who's on for Salford, another player whose career has been rejuvenated. Jack Ormonroyd. And they look as if they really mean business here. They're setting up left, they're setting up right. Where are the options? Burrow go to the right-hand side. Inside it goes for the dangerous Tim Laffey. What can Salford make of this set? Back in it, just 2 points in it. 12 minutes to go to half-time, and it's turned into a terrific tussle. 8 points to 6. Ball back for Sneed, and he'll arrow another one. Kicking's been brilliant. Pressure yet again, ball bounces awkwardly, but Saints come up with it in the end. More fortuitous than anything, but they allowed the ball to bounce, and Sneed all of a sudden is the big player in this match.
Yeah, some big changes as well for Saints. Young George Delaney on in the middle of the field. James Bell coming on and spelling some of the forwards. James Bell's had a big impact on Saints. He's a ball playing loose forward, adds up so much to St Helens when he's on the field. So just looking to freshen things up through the middle of the Saints.
Yeah, young Delaney, 20 years of age, only knows one way, and that's forward. Here is Bell, fed by Darryl Clark. complete switch in momentum and control of the game, but Clark there does well. Good pass out again, and now Whitley finds Percival in space. Percival with a little kick forward, but I think there's far too much on that. It was the right idea, but far too much boot on it. And what looked promising for Saints has ended with Salford getting the ball with a 7-set tackle set on their own 20.
It's a shocker. It's an absolute shocker. He's overhit, misjudged. I think he's the wrong player. I think he's the wrong player from start to finish. Poor from Mark Percival.
0. Move, James! Hold, Matt, hold.
8-6 and Helens lead. Salford right in this game where after 20 minutes you thought that they had no chance of getting in this game. It was so one-sided.
Wait till me, wait till me.
Jake Wingfield about to come on for St Helens also. Busy night in Super League.
Move! Back, Johnny! Wait there, Johnny. Go,
8-6 it is. You just feel that Sam Stone finds room on halfway, that Salford now believe that they can win this. Chris Atkin is on as well for Salford. They've got a bit of space again with Laffey on that far side. Laffey up against Blake.
Hold.
It's a good game. It's a good game. I told you Salford came to play. They've been great in the opening 3 games, 3 rounds of Super League. They've competed hard. They were exceptional last week against Hull KR. I expected them to come here and be good. They withheld a lot of pressure, and then they've counter-punched.
Sneed, again, not under too much pressure as he gets the kick away, and again it's the awkward bounce, and Makinson, basketball style, eventually get it back to Wellesby. But you talked about the pressure on Mark Sneed early on in the game. It isn't there now. Sneed has been given license to do what he wants.
Yeah, it doesn't matter sometimes with Mark Sneed. He still manufactures kicks. What he does is he puts his foot. Another penalty now from Salford. No! A relieving penalty. It's a good kick from Mark Sneed. The spiral bomb is so hard to deal with. Salford out square, and discipline is a killer. Referees have really clamped down on this in the pre-season. Spoke to all the clubs. Said if you don't get square, you don't get tight, it's a penalty. The referee left with no choice to march St Helens up the field.
9 minutes to half-time. Busy weekend of Super League on Sky Sports. Doubleheader on Saturday with London taking on Wigan, and then Catalan against Hull FC. Both games on Sky Sports Action.
Come on, King, hold.
But you're right in what you said. It was a relieving penalty for St Helens. Here is Bell. Tries to get up, eventually does play the ball. Play on, says the referee. Inside it goes for Wellesby again. Wellesby looking for a way through, but that was a set play as they switched it outer to inner. Delaney will chance for the line. Darrell Clark there, marshalling his troops right on this Salford line. Last tackle. If he can get up and play the ball, which he does. Clark and Bell and Wellesby and Sirenen, can he offload? No, he can't. And again, Salford come up trumps with some brilliant defence.
Yeah, with Sirenen with 8 offloads last week against Lee. As I said, it's almost become a compulsive thing for him. He's trying to get the ball free, trying to get it into one hand to offload the ball. Makes the mistake. Tidy defence from Tim Laffey. Aggressive defence again from Salford. A mistake from Sirenen, and Salford breathe again.
That's you pushing forward.
Well, they are starting to believe, aren't they? Castleford's poor start to the season continuing, trailing Huddersfield 16-4 at the Jungle.
Play on, still one.
Goes to ground. Is that play on? The referee will say, I think it came off the St Helens boot, so it is play on.
Hold! Go to.
For the Yayawa. But doesn't offload the ball. That's a mistake, and it's picked up by Delaney. The gamble didn't pay off. I think it may have been Watkins.
It was Watkins. It was
Callum Watkins.
Who's been? How good's Callum Watkins been for Salford?
Yeah.
Last couple of years, exceptional. Just gets his arm free. Look, the ball pops out. He's expecting some support to be near. It's nowhere near. And it's a gift, isn't it, now for St Helens? 7 minutes to half-time. Salford were creeping back into this game, looking like they're going to get over the top with St Helens. Now Saints get a chance.
Let's go, 5 seconds.
Well, Callum Watkins is a genuine Super League superstar, isn't he? And
Shot clock off.
One of the best.
Ball in now. Out.
here is Lomax. Wellesby looking for a way through. Does well.
Surrender. Stand now.
Clark! Saints looking
6 again, Marcus, not
to make a move, and it's a 6 again as Bell feeds the ball through. More bad news for Salford. Kate Custers failed his HIA. He won't be coming back onto the field. Saints with a set restart again. What can they do? Wellesby will cut inside under pressure. Jack Wellesby, but always dangerous with ball in hand. 3 Salford defenders eventually bringing him down. 2-point ball game. 6 minutes to half time. Can Salford keep them out this time? Dodd does get the ball out, but really good defence once more. And Saints with Darryl Clark now finds Lomax. Lomax with a little sidestep across the field. He goes to Percival. What a fantastic pass from Lomax, the captain, with an absolute beauty. And Mark Percival with a stroll in. You've got to say it was a tryout and nothing looked on. But that was magnificent from Lomax.
And if Paul Rowley laments about anything in this first half, it'll be the timing that his side's penalties they've conceded, and just giving such quality in this Saints team enough time to puncture and penetrate the Salford defensive line that's been fantastic so far this year. Let me tell you, this is how you run a line. The timing of this line, Percival punches, it's exceptional. Bang! On the money. It's just vision and timing, and it's perfect. Johnny Lomax kicks back to the middle of the field. Percival hits the line. He's at full speed when he gets that. It's almost impossible to defend. Defenders are almost looking in at Johnny Lomax. Percival celebrates with his teammates. He's now got a relatively easy goal kick. After criticising his last 2 attempts, which he's missed, he's got one in front. That's why he came in field. He ran that line towards the middle of the field just so he could touch it down, just to get his first kick over.
Well, John Wilkin positively purring over that St Helens try, but it was another error, wasn't it? It all came from Callum Watkins losing the ball, trying to force the ball out of the tackle after they fought their way back to within just 2 points with a concerted spell of pressure. But that could be an important score at an important moment, and Mark Percival, of course, makes no mistake in St Helens lead by 14 points to 6.
And you're right, I said about penalties, well, it was an error this time, wasn't it? It was Callum Watkins trying to find an offload. He's just trying his best to just promote the ball. He couldn't. It gave St Helens possession. Once Saints have possession, well, they're clinical and they're ruthless. And this is a world-class line. Wow.
Well, coming at an important time. Now, what can Saints do with this kickoff from Mark Percival? The answer is nearly make a mess of it again. They are causing all sorts of problems, these kickoffs. And Saints haven't learned their lesson, but somehow they've scrambled. Tackle made by McDonald.
There's a strong breeze. There's a strong breeze helping Saints here. It's behind Saints. We've seen the impact on Lewis Dodd's kicks. He's got some good purchase. Well, for this Mark Sneed and his kickoffs, they're holding up. Look at this, the wind having a real impact on the ball flight, making it almost impossible to read.
You could see there, it was hanging, wasn't it, for a split second.
Moving kick, square marker.
Really
Wait there.
entertaining first half here in St Helens. Saints with the lead by 14 points to 6, looking to make it 4 wins out of 4. Well, look at that.
Wow.
What a scoreline coming in. Great take that, by the way, from Ryan Briley. It had to be a great take, but Lee 16-0 up against Leeds.
Did Lee need that? Lee have needed that. They needed a look to change. Tough start to the year for them. Some big injuries here last week. What a take from Ryan Briley, by the way. Just as we're pairing over the lead Leopards performance, Ryan Briley with a wonderful take.
Hold there.
Can Salford find a way through in the last couple of minutes of this half? Ayawa just short of halfway. Watkins, McDonald now on the last. The ball will inevitably find its way to Sneed and that golden left boot, and up it goes again. Caught in the wind, it's watched by Wellesby and taken well by the St Helens fullback, who, by the way, was just as that try was scored by Percival, was in back play receiving some treatments on what looked like an ankle injury, but Wellesby looks okay.
Move, Jack, find the floor, find the ground. King, go, what, he's readjusted, go. 2, well done, mate. 3, 6 again, floor. Max Sneed.
Yes, that restart, that's another error. And now it's a penalty, and they can't afford to do this because there's a minute or so to go, and Saints are going to get, I would imagine, a full set virtually on that line. Could be crucial.
Yeah, discipline from Salford again. It's just killed them. The timing of the penalties they've conceded. This, how crucial could this be?
50 seconds, give or take, for St Helens to try and find a way through. The two youngsters have come on, Wingfield and Delaney, have done a good job. That's Wingfield brought down. Darryl Clark again. Here is Bell and Wellesby. And Wellesby's nearly through. Well, he tried to find Percival, and it's picked up by Hankinson. I think if the pass had been a good one, it was another try. But now it's an opportunity with less than 20 seconds ago. It's a free play here for Salford. Briley is brought down, and what a really good first half this has been.
Great half. Both teams have contributed in a big way to what's been a hugely entertaining half of rugby. Both coaches with plenty to be happy and plenty to be critical of.
Oh, what a terrific first half. St Helens looked like they were in control when they scored 2 tries in the first quarter through Jack Wellesby and Lewis Dodd. But a brilliant kick-off from Mark Sneed off the back of that try from Lewis Dodd, and it changed everything. Salford came roaring back. They got a try from Dion Cross, and St Helens in control, leading at half-time by 14 points to 6. Two-time world champion Anthony Joshua takes on MMA powerhouse Francis Ngannou tonight, live on Sky Sports Box Office. Main event is expected at 11 o'clock with the walk-ons. The fight is available to Sky customers in the UK and Ireland. Virgin Media customers should contact their operator. Go to skysports.com/box office for more information. That is now live, by the way, on Sky Sports Box Office. Joshua against Ngannou, the walk-ons at around 11 o'clock. Well, here at St Helens, for a terrific first 40 minutes, Saints look like taking control with those early tries from Jack Wellesby and Lewis Dodd, but Salford came roaring back, deservedly scoring through Dion Cross. Mark Sneed has been really influential, but a key try made by Lomax, scored by Percival, 14-6 at half-time. Well, elsewhere, on a busy night of Super League, Castleford look like they're going to go down for a 4th consecutive defeat, 22-4, then losing to Huddersfield. That game is on Sky Sports Arena. Lee, what a performance in the first half against Leeds. Live on Sky Sports action, and Lee in front by 16 points to 0. Here, Saints leading by 14 points to 6, and I know John Wilkin has thoroughly enjoyed that first 40 minutes.
Yeah, stunning first half, and Salford came to play, didn't they? Salford do what Salford always do, play, but they came up with the mistakes. Ryan Briley off a Kate Cuss pass. That gifted St Helens possession, and 11 minutes into the game, step up Johnny Lomax, step up Jack Wellesby, and it was the first try to make it 4-0. Jack Wellesby in at the corner, Johnny Lomax so square, creating and preserving space for this man. The star of every game he's in, it's Jack Wellesby in the corner. Stunning start for Saints, and it looked like it was going to get worse, didn't it, for Salford, when Alex Walmsley and Sione Matautia combined and giving this man Lewis Dodd space and time to stretch that Achilles tendon that he had the injury with last year. It's a great finish from him on 19 minutes, and Saints are cruising at this point. Beautiful from St Helens, a crisp try, and you feel like there's warning signs here for the Salford City Reds, but maybe not. Mark Sneed, kick-off, game changer. The wind holds it up. From this, Salford get the ball back, and not only get the ball back, but manage to take advantage of being at the St Helens end of the field with Dion Cross. It's a lovely play from Mark Sneed. Great hands, and the strength from Cross at the end to finish. Stunning. And this period of the game now, Salford were confident. Yet again, Mark Sneed, fingerprints all over everything good. Cross, what a finish. What a finish. And at this stage, those conversions, missed conversions at 8 points to 6 might have looked important, but Saints got back in. And it was Johnny Lomax drifting across the field. And just look at Mark Percival sniffing up the middle here. I love how he accelerates onto this ball. It's a step, and it's cracked the line. Super line from Mark Percival. How important might that be? They tried to make it 14-6, an easy conversion for the man who scores it, Mark Percival, from under the sticks. And that just made it feel a bit more comfortable than it actually was for St Helens and these St Helens fans.
Well, make no mistake, Salford are still very much in this game at 14 points to 6. All the stats suggesting that Saints have dominated, but you have to say that Salford have thoroughly deserved their try, and Paul Rowley will say you can still go out and win this.
Well, yeah, the big stat for me is 86% completion for Salford. For people who don't know, look, they move the ball around a lot. You'd expect them to make mistakes. They're completing really well, so that's why they're in games. They're in this game with St Helens, who are a champion team, just because of how disciplined they've been with the ball. We can't say that about the defence. A few penalties, a few set restarts. Paul Rowley knows how important they are, but he'll be hugely encouraged by his side's performance in the first half. A little bit of bad fortune for them at some stages, but also Salford have been really tidy here. It's been a lovely performance from them, but Saints showing the quality when it matters.
Well, we'll be back with the second half live from the TW Stadium in just a moment. St Helens leading by 14 points to 6. Two more big games live on Sky Sports on Saturday. A doubleheader starting in the capital. Can London upset the odds against the champions Wigan? That's at 5-3 on Sky Sports Action. Quickly followed by a huge game from the south of France as Catalan take on Hull FC. Again on Sky Sports Action, kicking off at 5:30. So St Helens leading by 14 points to 6. Salford still very much in this. We're expecting a cracking second half, John Wilkin.
Yeah, how important might that Mark Percival try be on 35 minutes? Salford just coming right back into that first half, really taking control of it, and then Percival puncturing their line with a fantastic piece of instinctive centre play, but a really solid first half from both teams.
So what's the answer then? What's Paul Rowley saying? How are Salford going to win this?
They just need to be a little bit tidier. I think a few penalties and a few set restarts at bad times for them really compounded the amount of pressure and the amount of times they had to defend their own line. I think Paul Rowley will be delighted with the effort and the character of his team. I think they've repelled St Helens in the main, but there's been some real marks of quality from Paul Wellens and for his team. If you think about Jack Wellesby's contribution, Mark Percival's contribution, and Johnny Lomax have come up with some wondrous plays. So Paul Wellens equally delighted with some of the contributions of his star players who stood up when it mattered.
So here we go, the second half. St Helens with the edge, only just. Big game, of course, at Headingley next Friday, live on Sky Sports. Saints going to West Yorkshire to take on the Leeds Rhinos. But for now, they've got to concentrate for 40 minutes to see if they can make it 4 wins out of 4. Sneed this time drills it down the middle. That was the right, because he's against the wind. He was trying to make a mistake and get the ball dead. I like his thinking.
Well, we might have given too much credit for those kicks that held up. It's clearly the wind. He's just drilled that one low because he knows he's got the wind behind him.
Whitley driving the ball forward for Saints. What a start he's made to his St Helens career. Been really impressive. John Wilkin mentioned it at the start, how influential the two new signings, Whitley and Darrell Clark, have been.
Yeah, incredible. They've almost changed the way that St Helens play. Darrell Clark and his willingness to run has made St Helens flatten up. And Matt Whitley, the biggest compliment I can pay to him is he doesn't need any coaching. His game is so well-rounded. There's no one part of his game that's weak. It's another...
Well, is that a knock-on?
No,
or is it a penalty?
It's an uncontrolled play of the ball from Saints.
And it is.
It's a turnover.
Saints making the mistake. Was it Ranga Blake here who didn't play the ball correctly?
Play the ball. Hand over.
Well, yeah, what the referee's saying is he fell over. He wasn't in control when he played the ball. The decision is what it is. Ranga Blake probably trying to milk a penalty by taking a dive. Well, he's cost his side a penalty. He doesn't need to do that. Mark Sneed, first set after half-time. What can he conjure up here?
Well, what a perfect opportunity then for Salford right at the start of this second half. First mistake comes from Saints. Here is Shorrocks. McDonald on the far side. McDonald and Laffey will be very important for Salford for sure. Sneed, now Briley. Chance here for Laffey, looking to find space. 10 yards away from the St Helens line. But Myers Salford can get points on the board early on. Sneed with a short pass of Uniyawa, just brought down. Quick play the ball. Amir Burrow, and they've got room on that far side if they need it. They've got an overlap. Brilliant tackle.
Great tackle.
Great tackle on McDonald. Sneed with the kick, taken by Lomax, who just manages to stay in play. But that was good play from both sides there. Salford giving a go out wide. Great defence of St Helens to deny McDonald.
This is where they need to be squeaky clean, though. Discipline. And this is so hard. Darrell Clark, wow. Every time the ruck's a bit fractured, he runs. And that's what Saints have lacked, maybe with James Roby at the back of his career. Well, look, here we go. Darrell Clark out of the ruck, just attacking tired defenders. It's just what he does. Yeah. Exceptional from Clark.
Top meter maker Darrell Clark from dummy half in Super League so far. I have to say that just looking back to when the announcement was made as Dodd gets the kick away from St Helens, there were, I think it was split 50-50 as to whether Darrell Clark was the right replacement for James Roby. But if there were any doubts for anyone then, they've been expunged quickly in this first month.
Well, yeah, with three rounds in, this is his fourth game. He started really tidy, even in the pre-season friendlies, very tidy. Just a different attacking threat for Saints. Wow, what a ball from McDonald.
And now it's an opportunity. Cross just didn't have the legs. But brilliant for McDonald to set Cross out. Now they've got a chance on the far side. They've got an overlap. Oh, and then the ball goes to ground. But what an opportunity. McDonald setting up Cross. Cross didn't have the legs, I don't think, or the confidence. Then they sweep the ball. They had an overlap and the ball goes to ground.
Well, Salford so dangerous with the ball. What about this from Nene McDonald? Sublime skill. And it puts Dion Cross in all sorts of space. There's an obstruction potentially in the background, but fantastic play from Salford. They just couldn't make the most of it. It's great defence from Mark Percival on the end. A solid read on a big man in Jack Ormonroyd. He's a huge man, is Jack Ormonroyd, and that's a solid contact from Mark Percival. Although Saints were fractured there, and great play from Nene McDonald-O'Dea and Cross, they were solid, and they got the numbers back, got the defensive line back organised.
Mate, you have to wait just 1 second.
The video ref, I think, maybe just having a look back at that to see if there was any contact or any illegal contact between Percival and Ormonroyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from Salford, expansive stuff. It led to them getting down the field. Dion crossing acres of space. Good scramble from St Helens. And then it's obviously the contact off the back of this that's being looked at. It's a big tackle from Mark Percival. Shorrocks throws it. Ormonroyd, bang. Now it's just whether there's any contact. When we have a look at that again, is there any contact with the head?
Well, he seemed to drop the ball, didn't he?
Well, he did drop the ball from the contact from Mark Percival. The question is where that contact is.
There's no mitigating factors.
Well, this is a big call here. Marcus Griffiths, the video referee, has had a word. And that's a red card.
Well, when you slow it down,
Don't compare.
Mark Percival has been sent off.
No, it's no knock-on effect.
Wow.
With the head, forceful, dangerous.
We're going to need to have another look at this. This is another big call in a season of big calls. But St Helens are down to 12 men. Percival has been given a red card.
Well, that changes everything. The challenge is Mark Percival doesn't wrap his arm. It appears like a shoulder charge, doesn't it? We all know about the head contact situation this year, and it's an aggressive read from Mark Percival. He doesn't wrap his arm, and that's why the referee and the video referee have given that as a red. Mark Percival will be disappointed. Maybe in years gone by that isn't a card, but we know this season things have changed. Now St Helens have got to dig in. Salford.
Well, now we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah.
I think the call actually came from the video referee, Marcus Griffiths, who was having a look at that and told Tom Grant, the referee, what he saw. So an opportunity here, a great opportunity for Salford as Shane Wright is brought down. St Helens down to 12 for virtually the whole of the second half now. They're going to have to go some. This is going to be Salford's best opportunity to win here for the first time in 44 years. And is that a mistake from Shane Wright? St Helens will be mighty relieved. Incorrect play the ball, is it? It is. So Saints will get the ball back.
Yeah, just this is what I'm talking about. Killing Paul Rowley. It's just, you can't do these things, and it just gives St Helens, when you're down to 12 men, just be clinical against Saints, be tidy, be disciplined. You're going to get a chance to win the game, Salford, if you do that.
Well, it's going to get fiery now, it's going to get aggressive as well, and Salford were too aggressive, too quick up in the line. Offside, penalty, 5 minutes gone in the second half, and what a 5 minutes of drama we've had. Let's just go back to the red card. John Wilkin, red card or not?
Yes, red card, yeah. I think if he hits him in the head, it's an aggressive, forceful contact with the head. It's a red card in the modern rules, in the iteration what there is. It's not like for Manu Brown where it's just an accidental contact. Mark Percival's made an aggressive read, so he has to get it right. He doesn't wrap his arm, shoulder contact with the head. Textbook. Salford are unravelling here though. They've just Saints are down to 12 men. Paul Rowley needs to get down to his men here and say, look, Saints are in trouble. What we need to do now is be organised, defend together, be connected, and take the emotion out of the atmosphere. And they've not managed this last 2 or 3 minutes very well at all, having Paul Rowley's team.
I think correct play the ball and then 2 penalties. So it'll be another chance for the 12 men of St Helens. The discipline's going to be key here in the second half of both sides now. Mark Percival sent off. It's all going to add to the drama, isn't it, as Lomax tries to find a way through. St Helens with that small 8-point advantage so far. Darrell Clark and now Bell. Of course, they've lost their goal kicker as well. I would imagine that Tommy Makinson will have to take over the goal kicking duties if they need it. Lomax with the dummy. St Helens leading 14-6, down to 12 men. Darryl Clark at dummy half. 5 yards away from the line. Can St Helens, the 12 men, find a way through, I wonder? Clark it is again. Dodd, inside it goes, and last tackle, last chance for St Helens. There's an overlap on this right-hand side if they want it. Long pass out it goes. But there's no way through for Wellesbury. They got caught out, didn't they, Saints? I think they got caught in 3 minds, let alone 2.
There's no dramas with that, though. You know, you're turning the ball over, 10 yards out from your line. You're a man down. That takes maybe some of Salford's ability to move the ball out of play. That being said, they look like they're shaped up to the death on the right-hand side, like they are going to move it.
Well, they have got movements on that right-hand side with Hankinson, and they will try and exploit Saints on that far side. Of course they will. Well, but Salford like to play an expansive game if they can.
Well, they did that in the opening minutes. It's off St Helens who are offside now, too keen. The referee's whistle's hot at the minute. He's spent a lot of time in his mouth at the start of this second half, just trying to get this game back into order. There's an atmosphere in this ground off the back of that Percival red card.
There's an edge.
There's an edge, but I didn't think Salford dealt with that atmosphere as it brewed up very well. Well, Saints just getting caught out offside there. And it's Salford now who get the opportunity. Saints being a man down. Defensively, Jack Wellesbury's got a job now. He's got to get his numbers right. The fullback has to organise his defensive line immaculately well for what is the remaining 31 minutes of this half.
Well, now there's an overlap. McDonald here has got cross outside him. Laffey brought down. Tim Laffey, a couple of years ago, and did Saints with a brilliant performance at the AJ Bell Stadium. We've just seen now that Salford believe that they can end this run. There's a long pass out there for Hankinson. Hankinson going for the line. Hankinson driven back. St Helens desperate defending. Dodd and Wellesbury, and he's in touch. And for St Helens, that's like scoring a try itself, isn't it? But is it a penalty?
Well, it is a penalty, but it's stunning defence.
Are they given a penalty or is it a turnover? Did they push him into touch after the whistle? I think it's actually a turnover. That's brilliant defence.
Yeah, it's the numbers, it's how connected St Helens are, and their effort then to force Salford over the sideline. This is communication. This is all being connected. Hankinson nowhere to go. Dodd, Benison in the tackle, driving him over the sideline. Stunning defence from the Saints.
Well, Dodd there from Wellesbury, you can see what it means to them. Both teams fired up, but I think Saints absolutely fired up after losing Mark Percival. Cracking atmosphere, cracking game. 10 minutes gone in the second half, half an hour to go. 14 points to 6. St Helens down to 12 men.
They're in the trenches. They're going to have to summon a huge effort, a massive effort to keep this Salford City Reds side away from that first victory in 40 years, Stuart, like you mentioned.
Here's Lomax, well shadowed by Sneed for Salford. Saints still pinned back inside their own 40. There's going to be a lot of hard work. That's a good offload again. Wigfield and Delaney are going to be key, the young men for St Helens in the last half an hour of this game, as Dodd puts a kick up again, caught in the wind, and it goes behind Ryan Briley, causes him all sorts of problems, and eventually finds itself to Dion Cross. Thriller minute stuff. St Helens leading 14-6.
I wonder when the backfield players are going to realise that the ball's holding up. They need to push forward. It's landing in no man's land every time. That was such a strong wind. Obviously not coming through the TV sets to the people at home. Maybe the flag not doing it justice, but it's strong.
Well, Sneed eludes the tackle, finds Cross, and just 1 or 2 spaces beginning to open up for Salford, as you would expect. Saints will have gaps down either side because of the absence of the red card of Percival. Here is Shorrocks with the offload, comes off Darrell Clark. That will wipe the tackle count clean, and Salford have a full set from halfway.
Yeah, your point about defensive numbers. Salford looking to jump down that short side. Oh, it's nearly. It's Chris Atkin and McDonald combined, trying to put Hankinson down that right-hand side for Salford, and the execution just wasn't there. Atkin flicks the ball, the pass is high and potentially forward. Hankinson can't rein it in. And Salford are going to have to take an opportunity like that. My point on numbers is Jack Welsby can position himself in the line to neutralise the fact that Mark Percival's missing. He can create an extra number by standing in the line. The question is then when Mark Sneed is on the other team, he's an expert at understanding where the space is, and if Jack's in the line, he's not behind the line, and that opens up the kick for an expert kicker like Mark Sneed.
Well, Darrell Clark is coming off for a rest. Moses Mbai is on for Saints with 12 minutes gone in the second half. The other thing that's worth pointing out is that there's no need for Salford to rush it, to force the passes, to panic. There's still a lot of time left in this game.
Yeah, there's no stress. Salford have been great here, competed for everything. Maybe the timing of a few penalties and set restarts is, maybe Paul Rowley will be disappointed with that, but everything else, bang on. Defensively, almost flawless. A couple of world-class moments from Percival and Welsby have unlocked their defence. But Salford came here to play off the back of a great performance last week. Paul Rowley knows his side have come into 2024 under loads of criticism and scrutiny, having lost the best players. Leeds Rhinos picked the pockets, and they've started this year stunningly well. And they've got an opportunity here tonight to put one on a fantastic side like St Helens. Now they're down to 12 men.
Well, of course, yeah, in a few short months, they lost Tyler Dupree, Andy Ackers and Brodie Croft, didn't they? But still, they have a great team spirit. Leeds are on the board, finally, 16-0 down at half-time. Lee in front by 16 points to 6 against the Rhinos. Here's Bell and Wingfield looking for a way through down the middle, but he's knocked on now. Too many mistakes from St Helens. Too many mistakes from Salford as well, but Saints can ill afford errors like that with a man down.
Yeah, it's a big tackle. It's actually solid contact, isn't it?
Shane Wright.
Yeah, Shane Wright coming in, lending weight to the tackle, forcing an error from Wingfield. I think both sides have been pretty tidy with the ball. I've got no issue with the number of errors in this game, Stuart. I actually think both sides have, tried, at least Salford are trying to play. They're trying to break St Helens down. They're just going to need to take a chance. They're going to get opportunities to create numbers. Just take one of those chances.
They're trying to here with Laffey looking for a way through.
Hold.
Brought down by Blake. Here is Sneed again, and Saints are playing a very skinny defensive line, aren't they? Simply because they're a man down, which means there will be opportunities out wide if Salford want to take them. Shorrocks again involved. He's going to be key as well, dictating with Sneed in the middle of the park. Joe Shorrocks, the former Wigan player, and here he is, right on the ball. Saints lost Mark Percival to a red card 3 minutes into the second half, and it's another set restart. And Sneed puts the kick over the top, and where's the ball going to come down and bounce all over the place? Saints have come down with it, have they? There's a melee, like a football penalty area there. This Moses Mbai who drops on the ball, then Salford give the penalty away. Wow, it's getting dramatic, it's getting tense.
Just be clinical, Salford, please. That's all we need. Look, I spoke about Jack Welsby being in the defensive line. Well, he's in the defensive line, and that's the space. That's what I'm talking about with Mark Sneed. He's so smart. He knows Jack Welsby's trying to create a number. Do you know what they need to do off the back of that, Salford? Is get your defensive line sorted and be aggressive. They're not square at marker. It's madness.
All adding to the drama. Blake brought down. Big defence from
Hold me.
Salford again. Stone in there, and right as well. Next goal could be key. Sirinin. Next goal will be key. Still 25 minutes to go. Bell looking for a way through. St Helens will be looking for a bit of magic. For me, Salford have just got to be patient.
Yeah, they've got to be patient. They've just got to take a chance as well. You don't want to be just winding the clock down, waiting for Saints to present you with an opportunity defensively. They don't often do that, even when they're down to 12 men. They don't often gift you an opportunity.
Lomax for Bell. It was read well by Shane Wright on the inside. Saints midway inside the Salford half. Huddersfield comfortable at the moment, leading 24-8 at Castleford. Dodd, that's a high-hanging kick. Briley comes up with the ball. I think that may well have been knocked on, but it's offside. It's accidental offside because it came off Briley. It was Laffey who pounced on the ball. But that's what you're talking about. Discipline, errors, penalties.
Well, the strong gust strikes again, doesn't it? The kick held up. It comes down about 10 metres short than it should have done. Everybody's onside. And it's Ryan Briley has to come so far to get it. He actually gets into the St Helens defensive line as it's chasing Tim Laffey accidentally offside. And every time Saints get the ball here, it's just relief, isn't it?
Yep.
They're not defending. This is safe. We can't concede. Paul Wellens will just want to retain as much possession as he can for the next 24 minutes.
Well, there was little point going for the two. It's all about getting the try here for St Helens, and Wellesby's there, and now Sirinin, but Sirinin has lost the ball, and it's picked up by Salford. Do you know what? For all that he's played well this season, I think that's about 3 handling errors from Curtis Sirinin in this game so far.
Yeah, a couple trying to get an offload away. This is just really solid contact from Salford. Sirinin juggles it, fumbles his catch, catches it late actually, and it's Mark Sneed. You're not expecting strong contacts from Mark Sneed usually. Well, Curtis Sirinin certainly felt that one. Shows you the importance of catching the ball early. When conditions are a bit damp, you know, for anybody, you have to reach out, get that ball in your hands early, not have to re-grip. Paul Wellens will be disappointed not to capitalise on the opportunity that Salford gifted them. But if they can get another score.
Well, that was a great opportunity for Saints as well.
If Saints can get another score, you know, then you know, Paul Wellens will just feel so much more comfortable. As it stands now, 12 men, this is tight.
And now that's the ball out to Hankinson. Briley it was, who fed it on the far side. But is it a forward pass? It's a forward pass against Ryan Briley. He can't believe it. St Helens can't believe it. And now I think it's a penalty for dissent against Briley for disagreeing with the decision.
He's been a frustrated player all night because he hasn't got the ball when he wanted the ball. He's been in space and not got the ball. He's finally got the ball in space and he's been pulled up for a forward pass. That's pure frustration from Ryan Briley, and I understand it. He wants to play. That's not forward.
Tough call. It's a tough call. It's a big call.
I feel your frustration, Ryan. As I said, he's been in space, right, 3 or 4 times here, and he just not got the ball.
So Saints 10 yards inside, close to that try line. Look at this, Briley absolutely cannot believe that decision. The Saints now with Bell, close to that Salford line, 14 points to 6, approaching the hour mark here. Ball misses out one. Oh, that's a brilliant step from Lewis Dodd. Little step, the shoulder went down. That could be absolutely crucial. Ryan Briley is fuming because his pass was just to be forward, and a little bit of magic from Lewis Dodd, his second try, and the 12 men extend their lead, 18 points to 6.
What a moment in this game. Games are hinged on really crucial points, aren't they? We saw that short kick-off in the first half off Mark Sneed and what that did to the game. Well, it's a forward pass. Ryan Briley, the picture of frustration, not got the ball enough here tonight. For me, it's not forward. Frustrated, dissent. St Helens get possession, and it's about Lewis Dodd. A young, athletic scrum half who's had an incredibly tough 18 months, but is producing the goods for St Helens. Speed, footwork, execution and clinical off the back of a forward pass that wasn't forward in my eyes. But what a moment. We said how important a score could be for St Helens here. That takes it to 18 points to 6. Lewis Dodd, Paul Wellens will all be feeling comfortable. Paul Rowley and Kerr Haggerty, the Salford coaches, will be dismayed, maybe by the referee's decision, the touch judge's call, but certainly be proud of the side's efforts. They've got a mountain to climb here now with 20 to go.
All the fun of the fair.
Indeed. One of everything, this game. One in every box ticked.
Well, this is a huge kick for Lewis Dodd, who's taking over the goal-kicking duties. Of course, Mark Percival sent off, red-carded for a challenge on Jack Ormond-Roy 3 minutes into the second half. As it stands, 2 converted tries and Salford draw level. We're approaching the hour mark. If Lewis Dodd can put this over, it means that Salford have got to score 3 times.
Yeah, it feels impossible because St Helens defend so clinically well. I think Mark Sneed's kicking game could well unlock Saints, but they're going to have to. When they have had the ball, they've created space and they've threatened Saints and created numbers. They just, for me, haven't found the right pass at the right time to break Saints down. They've done it a couple of times. Nene McDonald combining with Dion Cross and the Dion Cross try, they've brought Saints down, but they're going to have to do that 3 or 4 more times here.
Well, Lewis Dodd was prolific, a prolific goal kicker in his junior days and his academy days. This is a vital kick in the context of this match. No mistake whatsoever, and Lewis Dodd puts over the extras, converting his own try, and the 12 men of St Helens extend their lead to 20 points to 6, and Salford have 20 minutes to try and turn this around.
Massive. This moment's massive. Maybe there's a question whether it's forward. For me, live, it didn't look forward. The more you watch it, maybe it drifts forward just where Hankerton catches the ball. I still feel like it's a tough call. I didn't feel like it was forward. Ryan Briley certainly didn't think it was. Big moment, huge moment. Whichever way you fall, whether you think it was or it wasn't, that's a moment that matters here tonight.
There are 20 points to 6. Benison with the ball for St Helens. An hour gone. And Saints, well, it looks tough. It is tough. The next 5, as we mentioned, live on Sky Sports. The next 3 games, Leeds away, Wigan on Good Friday, then Saints go to Catalan, and then back-to-back home games against Hull SC and Huddersfield. Loving every minute of this, John Wilkin. Great entertainment.
Yeah, brilliant. Morgan Knowles back on the field just to provide steel. One of the best defensive players in the competition. Paul Wellens relies upon him to control games defensively, so he's back out there for the closing stages.
Well, Hankinson just dropping the ball there, but thankfully for him, it went backwards. 19 minutes to go, and now Salford have got a gamble. We talked about them being patient 5 or 6 minutes ago, but now they've got to give it a real go.
I just don't think they are patient, though. I think that it's not how they play. They've just got to make a chance. Salford as well. They've got to. How tough Wigan up next for Salford?
Yeah, that's right. Back-to-back home games, Wigan and Leigh, Castle London away, then Warrington at home.
4. Move! Hold. Go for mark is a good 4.
Are we going to have a thrilling finale? But that looked forward as well, but the referee says play on this time, and it might be to Salford's advantage as Laffey keeps going. Laffey going through, eventually brought down. Well, they did get the benefit of the doubt on that call for sure. Last one, there's players out on the far side if they need it, and it's knocked into touch on that far side by John Benison.
Well, it's well dealt with by Benison. The irony is there was a clear forward pass, wasn't there, that didn't get called. Maybe one that was not so sure. It's an accurate kick from Steve, well dealt with, Benison. A young man, very composed. We just see here how important decisions are, interpretation of decisions. For me, this is forward. The other one wasn't. It's hard to tell off that angle, but the lines on the pitch tell you that was forward from the way. But what great execution on the end of it. That's how crisp Salford need to be with the ball.
You feel they've got to score here. 17 and a half minutes to go.
Must score.
20 points to 6. Sneed involved once more. Quick hands. Did that come off Benison to Watkins? It is. So it's another full set here for Salford. Here's Atkin. Cross it was. He was running onto the ball. Amir Burrow now. This is desperate defending from St Helens. They're a man short. They're short on that far side if they want to get the ball out, and they do. And Sneed it is with a dummy. Inside is it for Watkins? And has Callum Watkins scored? Or is it Nenny McDonald? It's Nenny McDonald, and the referee will send it upstairs. But it was McDonald who found the space. The video referee will decide, but Nenny McDonald is convinced he scored.
It's tackle 2. We've got an on-field decision of a try. We're just checking the grounding, please. So McDonald is in possession of the ball at this point. He needs to maintain possession. The ball is clearly in the hand, and the ball is down. Thank you. I have a decision.
Well, I think that's a fairly easy decision, isn't it, for the video referee, Marcus Griffiths. And we said that they had to score, and Nenny McDonald has scored. And it's game on once more.
Yeah, here we go. Strap yourselves in. This could get tasty. Yeah, fantastic from Salford. We said they had to take a chance. Well, you could see Mark Sneed. He knew where the space was. The Salford left edge, Saints left edge was in all sorts of trouble, desperately tight. And Mark Sneed spotted that. There's no better man than Nenny McDonald near the line like that. He was great for Leeds, and he's been proving equally effective for the City Reds.
We are going to have a fantastic finish after that Nenny McDonald try. Sneed with the conversion, and that's 15 out of 15 this season now for Mark Sneed. And it's 20 points to 12, and what a 16 minutes we're going to have.
Yeah, Saints are desperately short, aren't they? As soon as Sneed gets the ball, he knows it's on. How strong from Nenny McDonald. Saints just not having the numbers to deal with Nenny McDonald's size and his strength, presence of mind to ground the ball. Solid from Salford. 8-point ball game, Stuart. 16 minutes left. Have Salford got the juice in the tank to get over this St Helens team? One man down, Mark Percival off the field for people who are just joining us. Huge moment in this game. Salford scrambling, clawing to get over the top of Saints.
Well, on the other side of the coin, the Saints got the juice in the tank to defend their line with 12 men for 15 minutes.
Yeah, how big's this? Mark Percival aggressive, Ormond Royd, shoulder charge to the head, red card, big moment.
Well, another good kick-off and another great take. I think it was Dion Cross, wasn't it? Did really, really well. But Salford with their tails up now.
2, move, hold Lewis, hold! Go 2, that's okay.
But it's game on here, and it's game on just 10 miles down the road as Lafay breaks again for Salford under pressure. Does get the ball out, picked up by Sneed. 16 apiece between Lee and Leeds, and there is an overlap on the far side, and Atkins feeds Hankinson. Hankinson's got space. Hankinson with a little kick over, chase towards the line, but there's too much on it. It was the right idea because Salford had the numbers. Briley was there hunting, so was Nenny McDonald, but there was too much on the kick from Hankinson. St Helens escape.
Yeah, it was massive. They just looked to create space again. It was actually McDonald who's on the wing. It's McDonald who hacks it forward. Hankinson him in switch positions. It's a big kick from Nenny McDonald, way too big, but exciting. Exciting because Salford look dangerous. They look like they can create space, and they look like they can threaten Saints, especially over on that right edge with McDonald and Hankinson. It's easy to get them confused, Stuart. They changed position just to trick you.
And Nenny McDonald is dangerous, without a shadow of a doubt. Huddersfield on their way to the points at Castleford, 28 points to 8. We don't know what...
Hold, Ben.
The outcome's going to be here for sure. 20 points to 12. 12-man St Helens, 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, Sony Matautia back on for the Saints. Jake Winfield with a good stint through the middle of the field. But again, like we said with Morgan Knowles, sure in that middle up, while Sony Matautia's size and strength, he'll look to impose himself on this closing 14 minutes.
Well, Lomax there went down. It was Joe Shorrocks with a heavy tackle, wasn't it? Dodd puts a little kick through. The ball comes loose. What will the referee say? Well, he'll say play on. I'm not sure about that, John.
Lewis Dodd's claiming that he's obstructed. It was beautiful from Lewis Dodd. He drops it onto his foot, chases his own kick, and he's screaming that there's an obstruction. Saints, not only that, they don't get that call. They concede a penalty here. It's magic from Dodd. What a game Dodd's had. Salford desperate to really stop him getting to the ball. Mark Sneed's committed. It's certainly not a penalty. Lewis Dodd, nothing in it for me. Lewis Dodd's still complaining.
Scrum arse like to complain, don't they?
Yeah, in general.
13 minutes to go. And what a finish we're going to have. Salford looking dangerous every time they have the ball going forward. Here is Shane Wright. Big double-header on Saturday on Sky Sports. London against Wigan, followed by Catalan against Hull. Both games on Sky Sports action.
Three, move on the mark. Hold me, hold. Stand up.
Take a breather, 12 minutes to go. Here is Sneed now, the dangerous Sneed.
Move, and again, Peter.
Sam Stone
Hold.
takes it up to the 40. Sneed again. He was looking to try and find a kick out, wasn't he? He was looking to see if there were any willing runners on the far side. Great tackle coming in. Knowles and Lewis Dodd it was. There's the high kick, and Bennison's dropped it. Bennison has dropped it. It looked for all the world as if he'd managed to hold on to the ball, but Sneed picks up the loose ball, and what a chance for Salford. They get another try here. Time is on their side. Chance here for Briley and Laffey. Laffey goes round Blake too easily. Lomax missed a tackle as well. You can feel the tension around the ground. That was Stone with the dummy half. Here is Shorrocks. They have seemingly got a permanent overlap on that right-hand side if they want it. They come to the left-hand side. Atkin it is. Atkin with the try. Goes on his own. Scores on his own. And what a finish we're going to have now. Salford haven't won in St Helens for 44 years, but they're now within 4 points thanks to a bit of magic from Chris Atkin. Saints 20, Salford 16.
Yeah, and you question whether Saints would have the juice and whether they would have the energy. Well, it's Atkin's footwork, testing the middle, St Helens defenders out. It's 1 step, 2 steps, dots the ball down. It's magic from Atkin. Timely piece of footwork from a man against tired defenders. Paul Allen's troops in the middle of the field having to do a shed load of work. It came from the mistake from Bennison, from a lovely kick from this man Mark Sneed, but it's magic footwork from Chris Atkin, the adaptable Atkin, playing in any position on the field.
Well, Sneed puts over the kick, and we have 10 minutes to go. 10 thrilling minutes. A roller coaster ride with St Helens leading by 20 points to 18.
Great footwork. So many defenders trying. Chris Atkin jabbed off that left foot once, twice. Fantastic from him. And this is where your leaders step up. For Salford, they need clarity and they need execution. They don't need to be frantic. For St Helens, well, it's desperation now.
Paul Rowley has always said that Chris Atkin is always one of the first names on his team sheet, whether it's in the starting lineup or whether it's on the bench.
I was going to say, he's always on the bench, isn't he? So it's a bit...
He has a lot of value. penalty here.
Saints just need to keep a lid on this because it's a penalty. They're feeling aggrieved that the referees maybe give a few against them that they don't deserve. Dissent's not what you need anyway in that situation.
Great tackle initially. Ben Halliwell.
That's a tough call on James Bell. Halliwell just doesn't play the ball for me. Bell with a fantastic tackle, but Salford will take it. Look, forget about it. It's done.
Yeah.
The referees give the decision. Saints can't change it. Dissent's not going to change it.
Yeah.
What Saints need to do is get back on task and defend like the champion side that they've been.
The decision could have gone the other way, but that's it. Them's are the breaks. And Salford has scored 2 tries in 6 minutes from McDonald and from Atkin, are threatening again. Salford haven't been in front at any stage in this game, but they're up against a tired St Helens defence, down to 12 men. Here's Burrow now. St Helens just desperately hanging on. That's all they're doing. Burrow again at dummy half. Go to the right-hand side. Nowhere for Shorrocks to go. Last tackle. This is key. 8.5 minutes to go. Burrow again at dummy half. Which way will he go? He goes to that short side. They have got numbers if they want them. McDonald there. McDonald looking for a way through, but there is no way through. Big defensive set from St Helens.
Yeah, and as much as St Helens have been stressed out on their left-hand side and McDonald's looked threatening, there's several times tonight they've dealt with it. And Dodd and Benison, young defenders, have come up with some big reads. And this is a big play on a big man. McDonald looks as though he could easily push off 3 or 4 defenders and squeeze into the corner. But Dodd and Benison and Matt Whitley have been really tidy, got themselves connected, and defended incredibly well. If you're a St Helens player now, what are you saying? You say you've got 3, maybe 4 more defensive sets to get through. If you're Salford, you're saying we've just got to take 1 chance. All we need is 1 chance.
Well, there's been some big calls by the officials in this second half, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the next 7.5 minutes. St Helens hanging on. Salford looking threatening every time they have the ball. Darren Clark and Moses and Bai will be key for Saints in these closing stages, as will Jack Wellsby. They've got up to halfway. Last one, it finds its way to Lewis Dodd, who puts up a high kick. It's a hanger for Ryan Briley. Watches it well, takes it well.
And as I said for Saints, they've got 3 sets to defend. This is 1. And what the chat is in your defensive line now is, boys, literally.
Is that another forward pass? Crucially, it's taken there well by Sam Stone. But it was a line call.
They're clinging on. Saints are clinging on.
Surrender!
Shorrocks on halfway, but they just see they've got space, they've got options, haven't they?
Well, Salford just love to play, don't they? They love to take opportunities, and they stress you out when you've got 13 defenders. When you're down to 12, it's maybe almost impossible to defend the shapes, but Saints are finding a way.
Here's Sneed, so influential. Briley and Laffey now. Gets the ball out brilliantly to Cross. Cross now into the middle of the field. Right involved. Brought down by Sione Matautia. Last one. Sneed again. Here is Laffey. Laffey for Cross. Brilliant from Laffey. And Dion Cross might have won it for Salford with 5 minutes to go. Brilliant offload from Tim Laffey. Magical play. And Dion Cross puts Salford ahead for the first time with 5 minutes to go.
Oh, and it's heartbreak for St Helens. Defended so well. Have resisted so much pressure. But you felt like in Laffey and in McDonald, Salford had the keys to unlock this big, bulky St Helens door-like defence. And they've done that on this occasion. What an offload from Tim Laffey. It's magic. Footwork, offload and Cross with the finish. There's 5 minutes to go. and just a massive play from Tim Laffey. Incredible courage from Salford to fight their way back into this game.
January the 12th, 1980, 44 years ago, when Salford last won a rugby league game in St Helens. They were 20 points to 6 down after Lewis Dodd's second try approaching the hour mark. But MacDonald and Atkin and now Cross.
Well, let me just say, the Salford players will be discussing how to get it done. How do we get it done from here? They've done the hard part. They've got back over the top of Saints. I mentioned how important Mark Percival's goal kicks. He missed 2 early doors, 2 relatively kickable kicks. Mark Sneed at 100% this year. This will be 17 from 17. If he kicks it, that could well be the difference here tonight. 2 kicks, 4 points. Let's see how he goes.
Well, the red card for Mark Percival at the start of the second half. We wondered at the time how important that could prove to be. It seems the answer is very. But take nothing away from Salford. They've been outstanding and they've taken full advantage. 22-20. Can Sneed make it 24-20? Fantastic kick. What a kick from Sneed. So Saints have got to come up with a try with 4 minutes to go.
You gotta love the salute from Mark Sneed. He must be getting all sorts of stick off the fans down there. But I'll tell you what, you get stick all that you want, but you can't criticise this try. It's fantastic from that left edge of Salford. Laffey and Dion Cross, both edges for Salford have looked dangerous every time they've executed the plays. Now what do Saints do from here? 4 minutes left.
Well, twice the ball has fallen off the tee. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Can they get the ball back from this kickoff? Dodd with a high hanger. And they do get the ball back. They do get the ball back. Now, it was Welsby. It had to be Welsby, didn't it? Alex Walmsley's back on.
It's such a good short kick-off from Dodd. Fantastic.
Will there be a miracle right at the end? 24-20, Salford in front. Knowles now for St Helens. A try and a goal will win it for Saints. It would break Salford's hearts. And well, that went down off Matautia. The referee is going to blow. Now, did that come off a Salford player, or was that a knock-on from Matautia? The clock has been stopped. Who's going to get the ball from the scrum?
Two questions, isn't there? It's whether it's a knock-on from Matautia or he's tackled without the ball. If he makes contact with Matautia before he's caught the ball, that's tackle without the ball.
It's a Saints scrum.
Yeah.
It came off Laffey.
Oh, it's on.
3 minutes to go. What a finish.
Fantastic support from Salford here, travelling support. They've added to this, haven't they? The Saints fans are all up.
Dodd out of the scrum. Lomax. Somehow Saints looking to find a try. What's that phrase? Never write off the Saints. Well, we're going to see here in the closing stages. Here is Bell. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. And by at dummy half. Here's Walmsley. Walmsley got out of one tackle. He was nearly through, but he's knocked on. And Salford celebrate. Alex Walmsley knocking the ball on. And now there's a bit of trouble behind the post.
Well, yeah, Alex Walmsley.
Not too impressed with Salford's reaction.
For me, Muslers and Baye takes the wrong choice by hitting Alex Walmsley short. Alex Walmsley's frustrated. He's lost the ball on the ground. Sam Stone comes over, rubs the back of Alex Walmsley's head. It's a wrong choice from Saints. Shape all over the place. And it's Sam Stone, the back rower. He comes in, gets in Alex Walmsley's face, and Alex Walmsley does not like that one bit and reacts. Saints have reacted to Sam Stone just provoking Alex Walmsley. It was brilliant defensive play to fell such a big man. What, we've got 1 minute 40 left.
And the clock is still rolling. Finally, it's been stopped because Saints haven't formed the scrum. Wow, what a thrilling finale. St Helens led by 20 points to 6. Hankinson brought down, and it's just got to be steady away for this Salford side to make history. And they're going to win 3 on the spin.
It's a missed opportunity, that, for St Helens. It's just a wrong call from Mbaye to hit Alex Walmsley there. That's the chance. That was their chance.
Mark Percival sending off. And Salford are seconds away from making history. There'll be a lot of their fans behind those posts who weren't even born when Salford last won here. Saints have 40 seconds. Wells beyond the fly, but they've got 70 yards to go.
Get behind the ball, St Helens. Shape up. James Bell, Alex Walmsley, I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how tired you are, the St Helens middles. Form some shape. Challenge Salford here.
20 seconds to go. 1, maybe 2 more plays. Slow play the ball. And by now Lomax. Matautia still going. 5, 4. Are they going to get the ball off? No, they're not. Salford celebrate. Their fans celebrate. They've won at St Helens for the first time in 44 years in a drama-packed game here at the TW Stadium. St Helens led by 20 points to 6, despite having Mark Percival sent off 3 minutes into the second half. McDonald, Atkin, and then crossed with the winning try after an outrageous offload from Tim Laffey. Boos ringing round for the referee, Tom Grant, but it matters not. Saints can't have too many complaints about the red card, but what a win for Salford. The 12th of January 1980, and here they are 44 years later, winners, John Wilkin.
Yeah, some huge performances, a really brave effort from St Helens when they went down to 12 men. An exceptionally entertaining game for so many reasons. But sometimes players perform because they create loads of opportunities, because they defend so well, so heroically. Unapologetically, my man of the match here this evening is Mark Sneyd. And Mark Sneyd, because of the conversions that he kicked, because of how expertly he converted 4 points into 6 points, and ultimately when you win 24 points to 20, his kicks mattered. His organisation mattered, but his kicks made the difference, and that's why tonight's man of the match is Mark Sneyd.
Well, what a breathtaking and breathless half of rugby. St Helens losing for the first time this season. It finished by 24 points to 20. Those 3 tries in the space of 7 minutes. St Helens led by 20 points to 6, but the 12 men just couldn't hang on. History on the 8th of March 2024 for the Salford Red Devils. They've waited 44 years for this, and they have done it. The Mark Percival red card, all important, and Salford have won.